Anna Russian. Any other thing that's interesting to show would be Anna Russian with its typical floppy growth. Another interesting thing, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but if you look at Mexico Midget, the foliage is not lime green, but a pale green, and you can compare it to the dwarf variety growing in front, which, and just about all of the dwarfs have a very dark, rich green, in some cases almost a bluish green, very crinkly foliage. See how puckered it is on the top. And another word for that is rugose foliage. If you look at the diameter of the stem of Mexico Midget and compare it to the diameter of a stem on a particular dwarf, you can see what makes these different. Now dwarfs also put out side shoots, so essentially they're like very slowly vertically growing indeterminate varieties. If you can just walk down the row here, the dwarfs and the indeterminates in the pots were planted at the same time. You can see in just about all cases the indeterminate is much taller. Now here's an example of a plant that has just split into multiple growing tips at the top. This Tiger Tom, you see how the main stem here has turned into essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 stems. I'm not sure why that happens, or even if it's variety specific, but I see it happen now and then on a lot of the heirloom types. Cherokee Purple tends to do that as well. What else can we look at here? Here's a sun gold that I don't prune sun gold very much, if at all, and we've already got fruit set on the sun gold. There's a blossom cluster. The only other indeterminate that I'm going to show right now, here's a nice potato leaf variety. You can see the difference in the leaf shape on the potato leaf versus the regular leaf. And everything's looking healthy and happy here. The only other one that I want to show is just an odd one that I'm growing this year. It's a variant that came out of Mullen's Mortgage Lifter. I don't know if you can see the difference in foliage color between that indeterminate. There's the Mullen's Mortgage Lifter with the pale leaf mutation, and then another one with typical colored foliage. Now, all of these plants, this is what I'm going to refer to as the extreme prune small pot indeterminates that I'm just going to try to force one fruit cluster. I pruned all the side shoots off these yesterday, so I'm just going to grow the center shoot, and once a cluster of fruit has formed and set fruit, I will top the plant. And if all goes well, none of these plants will be over 3 feet tall, and we'll be able to sample and taste the fruit. You can see what's going on with the peppers here. I mulched these yesterday. Here's an example of an ornamental type of a hot pepper. This is pretty purple, and we see a lot of the hot pepper types that have that dark foliage. Let's see how Fish is looking. There's one pepper that I'm growing called Fish. That the foliage is variegated white and green, and that is now showing some nice variegation. And let's see if we can show a picture of the hottest pepper in the world. There is Scorpion Butch Tea, Trinidad Scorpion Butch Tea that I got from my friend. So it's in its pot, settled in, and starting to take off. If you want to take a look at some of the eggplant, this is a beauty growing right here. This is Prosperosa, showing its vigorous growth, and it's got some purple shading. We will go through the dwarfs at another time and pick up some of the different examples. I guess what I could show now is there is some variation in height, and those from the nosy line, which are heart-shaped, I think it's Anna Banana Russian times Golden Dwarf Champion, tend to be taller than the other types and earlier. And in fact, this might be Pink Passion or Lemon Ice or Golden Heart here, but we've already got open blossoms. So that's one of the nosies, and you can easily tell. Here's another. Lots of blossoms in there that are opening, and here's the other. So, and these are all approaching release. Just looking fantastic. So all is well in the driveway.